Now I want to reflect on, especially with Dream Church and with all my followers, I just want to reflect on the recent events that are taking place in the White House. Recently we heard that Trump had a Bible study in the White House. Wow! And a lot of people are criticizing this, and even Christians, they are saying that, oh, this was a voodoo, this was people were laying their hands on him. So even from different denominations, and people are coming and attacking who they call themselves Christians. Oh, please give me a break. I do not understand at all the mindset and the hypocrisy behind this. And people can find anything in anybody. First of all, we know that, especially on social media, you can post anything as innocent as you can with a pure heart, and people can take that because they are so demonized, and they can take that out of the context and twist it around and bring back to you and attack to you as something it was evil. And I just want to tell you today, this is so ridiculous. I am even hearing from Christians, or the word Christian used very loosely anyway, according to my own opinion and my experience. Maybe it is not yours. People call themselves Christians. They don't walk by what the word of God says. And they just want to, right now, we have a lot of Christians that they say they are Christians. They are so liberal that they don't know their rights from their lefts. And they are attacking the Trump and the presidency right now and his team and what is happening in the White House. Let me tell you this. This is the best thing ever happening in the White House right now. This is the answers. This is the answer and the answer to our prayers and fasting. I just want to tell you this. And then if we are not seeing it, we are spiritually blind, folks. And I want to tell you that what is happening right now, that we have been waiting and praying over the last 8-9 years. Listen to me very carefully. We had a Babylonian king. We had a pagan king. And we were under his rule and like a slave to the perversion in this land. And every time we were going out and turning on the social media or the media, we were hearing all this garbage and the propaganda of his liberalism, if his just support and the lies about the Muslim world, Islam is a religion of peace, and shunning the Christians. And now we have someone in authority who supports us, who supports the church, who supports the evangelicals, and who can be our voice in the world, and who has a backbone, titanium backbone, to say no to the evil, and can get as radical as they can get against the evildoers. And now we are going to bashing him. And people are calling him names, and even from the Hollywood, people are just taking everything so violently in their demonstration. You know, when I was seeing that woman that holding, like they didn't even show the exact picture of it. When I was seeing that, this is what would ISIS do? And this is kind of a spirit, ISIS spirit, against the president of the United States. And I just want to talk to you Christians. I'm not even addressing unbelievers, because you know what, you may not know it, you may not understand it, and that's perfectly fine. Lost is going to do what lost would do. But church is so lost that they don't even know better than the pagan world. And I want to tell you right now, Romans 13:1, if you don't know these words and you are coming constantly on your social media and the things that you are saying against the president, because I just want you to know that I didn't vote or supported the Babylonian king that was before on the throne, but I didn't say a word against him. You know why? Because I knew what the word of God said about how we need to respect authorities, how every government is established by God. Romans 13 verse 1 says, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Authorities that has been established, they have been established by God. 1 Timothy 2:2 says, pray for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. You want to live a godly and holy life? What you need to do is pray for the president. Instead of talking against him all the time, posting things against him and bashing him and bringing a curse upon yourself, upon your health, upon your life, you follow the word and be obedient to the word of God and stop doing the hypocrisy that you are doing, calling yourself a Christian and doing this, attacking the president. When you stop doing this and obeying the word of God, you will be blessed and you will be healed and you will receive you will receive the Abrahamic blessings that you have been praying for. And in other words, in John 19:11, I love this. Jesus answered. He answered to Pilate. He answered to Pilate. Jesus answered to Pilate, who was not a believer at all. Look at this, what he says. So I'm not right now here to debate that who is a Christian, is he saved, he is not saved. I'm not debating that. I'm talking about our respect and prayers have to go to the governing authorities. Jesus 19:11, Jesus answered to Pilate and said, you would have no power over me if it were not given to you from above. Therefore, the one who handed me over to you is guilty of a greater sin. This is what Jesus is speaking to Pilate, who is not a believer. Jesus is telling him, okay, this is in red letters. How is that? Jesus is telling him, you have no authority over me unless that the authority that you have is given to you by God. There are no more words to say. I am so grateful that there's a Bible study in the White House. I am so grateful that God is coming back to the White House. I am so grateful for Pence. I am so grateful for people that they were there and they were laying their hands on President Trump. Whether you believe he's a believer or he's not a believer, I do believe he's a believer. I recently went on a trip and I was interviewing some key leaders in the Christian world. And they told me about the testimonies after testimonies, how the recent in what is happening in Trump's heart right now. So if even you cancel him out in the past, I want you to consider if God can still move in the hearts of a man. I want you to consider if he can't, if you're saying that people cannot change, people cannot get saved, then there's no hope for you either. So thank God that our God is a merciful God. Thank God that our God answers our prayers, that he is moving mightily and he is bringing a change right now. A change that we have been praying for in the White House. And now, if you want to bash him, consider second time, if you call yourself a Christian, and start praying for him. Start seeking God's face. And see and understand and revere God through respecting the governing authorities. God bless you all. And I am so happy that someone brought the Bible back into the White House, because there's no other way we can solve our problems, the world problems, or radical Islamic problems. Only through God, God alone, it can be solved. And I am glad that someone in the White House is paying attention to this. Even allowing this is a huge miracle. And it may look like a foolish thing in the eyes of the world, but in my eyes, in the eyes of the Bible, this is a wonderful thing. God is back. God is back into the Oval Office. God is back into the White House. And now, watch and see what great miraculous movements God is going to do in our land and in the world. God bless you all. Thank you for listening.